Welcome to the Sorry You're in My Seat podcast, a show that brings together three best friends on a quest to find the very best that films have to offer. The format is simple. We'll discuss films that we've seen in the last 7 days, and if we've enjoyed them or if we think they're worthy enough, we put them into our top 100 vault. Whereas if we watch films that we think are a bit rubbish, we'll put them into Sam's hole. That's the show. I can't do it alone, and each week I bring together my good friend James.
Good morning, good evening, or good night.
Good start. And Sam.
Hello.
So the three of us get together each week to talk about movies. If this is your first episode, then welcome. James, sum up last week for us. What did we do last week?
Last week we took on the perils of the Halloween spooky horror genre.
And how did you find it, Sam?
I found it very good. A little bit worried about the Ouija board that was in my house. I didn't stop in the house last Monday. I was that scared.
Yeah, so something really, off the bat then, straight away, something really weird happened last week. So we did the Halloween episode. We got into the theme of things by putting a Ouija board on the table, a load of lights, like candlelight, with some spooky masks and stuff like that. And, if you listen to the podcast, you can hear things banging and things clanging around, and it spooked us out a little bit as we talked about horror movies. And then that night, I took the Ouija board home, and about 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and just started projectile vomiting everywhere. This is true. This is not even a joke or a skit or anything like that. From 4 a.m. until about, it must have been about 9:30 that day, I was just in the bathroom, curled around the bottom of the toilet, and it was just the worst thing. I take my first day off work in probably about 5 years.
Yeah, this is why I didn't want it in my house.
So I thought I'd been possessed or something.
I was going to say, it's because you badmouthed Damien from The Omen.
This is what I thought it was. I thought, because I badmouthed a couple of films during that episode, had the Ouija board out. Sam's house is obviously haunted.
Obviously.
And I think I took on the devil somewhat. So I was, and towards the end of the second day, when I started overcoming it, I was like, right, the next episode I'm going, I beat the devil. I started writing in the group chat to you two. I was like, I beat the devil. I've done it. I'm kind of immortal, all this kind of stuff. And then a friend texted me saying, hi, mate, are you feeling all right? And I thought, that's a bit weird. I said,
no.
I said, no, I haven't actually. It's funny you should mention that. I don't feel too well. And my friend said, oh, that's really bad. Because now here's some more story. Before we did the podcast last week,
right,
I went to a christening.
Right.
I ate some food at the christening, but so did some other people, and 8 of us got ill off it.
Luckily, the child did not eat
No, the child didn't eat any. So it wasn't actually the devil, it was church. It was church that it poisoned me last week.
Serves you right for going to church.
That's what it was. So, but I survived whatever it was, and yeah, back this week. No theme this week, so we're not taking on horror. We're not taking on anything like that. It's just kind of like a general chat this week, isn't it? And it was something that came off one of your ideas, Sam.
Yes.
So why don't you tell the people what we're doing this week?
I had an idea of doing A to Z of film. Not so much the best A to Z of film that is out there, just more A to Z of film for you. So what you would have, Aaron, what you would have, James, and what I would have. So we all gave ourselves a quick hour, not thinking about it too much, not researching any films, just write the letters down, bang a film down. First thing comes to your head or for the reason or whatever. So today we're going to go through our list, just have a bit of a chat about it.
So my list, my A to Z of film is films that at some point have had an impact in my life. It's either that I've watched it and I've been blown away by it, or it was the first time that I saw a certain style of film, and they're memorable occurrences. So as Sam said, these are not what I would class as the ultimate A to Z of film. Just they are the Aaron personalised A to Z list, if you like. James, what's your list like?
Well, mine's mostly friendship-based. So a lot of the films here. So we were talking a while back about Leon, and I said it's a film I kind of make people watch when I'm friends with them. I can't be your friend till you've seen this film. So a lot of my films are like films that I come from a personal place that I like them, and I like other people to like them. And also they're friends, they're movies that share friendships with, like I'll come across, there's some films in there that me and another person like, and that's how we bonded, and they've got really good memories for me.
Oh, that's very nice, James.
That is very lovely,
It's
yeah.
very nice.
Well,
I didn't think you had any friends.
Has a big heart.
I thought we were your friends.
No.
So I'll be interested to hear about the 26 films we've watched together.
upset him now. After such a nice speech, look what you did to him.
Sorry.
It's like
Apologise.
episode 6 when he forcibly liked me.
No, I just realised that we're 5 minutes in and it's very serious. It's very just trying to lighten the mood
Very
slightly.
serious. You were like, I've died in church.
Oh yeah,
It's very serious. Quick, Bully James.
yeah. And so, Sam, did you say what your list was?
No, my list is, as I've said on many an episode up to now, when I do nights, I watch a lot of films, plain and simple. My list would be, if I had to take the A to Z of films into work and watch over a set of nights, these would be the films that I could watch, and whether I've seen them twice or 200 times, I still enjoy to this day.
So yours is like the ultimate surviving a night shift.
Yes, yeah.
If you've got a TV and don't have to do actually any work.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's what I've decided to do.
Great stuff. Before we do that, let's just talk about this week in film and movies. Joaquin Phoenix turned 44 this week. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about Joaquin Phoenix?
I like Joaquin Phoenix.
I thought he was older than that.
I did, yeah.
Do you know what, I always, when I look at him, I'm always reminded of River Phoenix. Died tragically too young. I used to love River Phoenix.
I love Walk the Line by Joaquin Phoenix. I think that's still my favourite.
I've still never seen it.
Yeah, that for me. So I watched Bohemian Rhapsody on Friday, and on the way out, I was like, "Oh, I really like that." But it made me think that I really want to go back and watch Walk the Line, because I think that's another kind of musical biopic.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, obviously, yeah. And I thought, God, I really like that, because I'm not sure if we were going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody, but obviously Rami Malek, the lead actor in that, doesn't sing Freddie Mercury songs, he mimes them, whereas Joaquin Phoenix taught himself how to sing in that low key like Johnny Cash did, and surprised even the director, who before they filmed it was like, oh, we'll mime the songs. And then he went away, learned how to sing in that lower register, and then came back and says, no, if we're going to do it properly, I'll sing the songs. And,
That's cool.
Oh, brilliant.
and I really, really like that. So has anyone seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, are we okay saving it? Because I would really like to catch it this week if I can.
Again, I really want to see it.
Yeah.
I've booked in sometimes to see it this week.
Yeah, if we can make that a priority over the next 7 days, you can try and watch it.
Yep.
Because I like I said, I saw it, really willing to talk about it. I've put it on Instagram. But yeah. Just
We'll
check
do
it
that
out.
next week then.
So there's a film that you two mentioned last week. You went to Nottingham to go see, and I have made that
yes, we
trek
did.
myself.
Yes.
8:10, Nottingham. Oh, it was like Broadway. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Mandy.
Mandy, the horror film starring Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
Yes.
So there's this idea in cars called a concept car, where you put all your best in it just to see if you can make the perfect car. And because it costs so much to make, you don't ever sell it. You just make a concept car. It's like a concept movie to me. Everything about it was so brilliantly lavish and over the top. I flipping adored it.
I'm so glad you liked it.
I thought it was great.
I don't think we could be friends if you come and went, man, it was all right. I'm so glad you liked it, mate, honestly.
So the first hour, I was like, it's losing me. But there's actually a fine caliber of acting, and I'm actually a big Nicolas Cage acting fan, even more before he went off the rails. But it's like he was it's both. It's both the West and the East of The Road Not Bacon. He's got everything in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant film. And as I said, my research showed that Icelandic composer died. I thought, what a film to go out on. I mean, the music was making me tear up at one point. You know the point I'm talking about. I'm not spoiling about this film for anyone. You need to go see it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really hard one to recommend, Mandy, because it is so visceral and graphic and weird. And it's like before when we've pushed Brigsby Bear and said, oh, you got to go watch it.
Just feel good.
But then you worry that actually someone's not going to get it and going to come back and be like, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
like, because
why would
it's
you
so
like that film?
different. And Mandy's in that caliber of film, or it's definitely not Brigsby Bear.
You definitely won't put
it's
them
a
in the
horror
same genre.
It's a very, very hard-rated horror film. But I am interested to see if anyone watches it and comes back. I think it has got some really good reviews coming out early on.
Yeah.
Again, it's a film that's not widely available, distributed. I think it's a film we need to support. You need to go watch this film.
Yeah, please. And if you do, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter.
And a huge fan of the fact that I knew nothing about it going in. Not a clue. Loved it.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you, James.
We actually went up to watch a film a few weeks back now. It was just before the Halloween, but it didn't sink in with the Halloween episode. And that was Sam and I took the trek to go watch Hunter Killer.
Yeah, we did.
I thankfully avoided that one.
So what happened was on our private Instagram, on our Facebook Messenger chat that we had between the three of us, Sam wrote, who wants to watch Halloween tonight? James, you were like, I'm working, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time.
I'll come to the late screening, but I couldn't do the early one, but you were free earlier, weren't you?
I then made the joke, Halloween, did you mean Hunter Killer? To which Sam bit slightly
called you on your shit.
And well, no, initially you said Hunter Killer, and I was like, Gary Oldman's in it, and you was like, Hunter Killer. I said Gary Oldman won an Oscar, and then you was like, and then you called me and you went, what time? And I thought, well,
okay, mate, fine, let's do it.
So I thought, all right, I'll play this game. I'll play this game. Had a look on 6 o'clock showing. I thought, all right, 6 o'clock, mate. You went, all right then.
Yeah. Oh, I'll see you there, and I will.
No, and then I thought, you're not going to fucking turn up. So I was like, I'll be at your house then for 5:30.
Yeah, I'll see you there, Aaron. Of course you will, mate.
In which case I did turn up at 5:30.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You did have your shoes on, and then we did have to go watch Hunter Killer, the film starring Jared Butler, because I refused to give him a Hollywood name after this.
Jared
Butler.
So just before you tell this story, I would like to my experience of that night. So I did a whole day shift. I came straight from work, went to the cinema, bought my ticket, stood in the lobby, going to buy myself a coffee before the cinema. Saw, coming down the travelator, 2 young men. One of them wouldn't stop giggling, and the other one had like this shocked, white, pale look on his face, like he'd seen some sort of sex crime. Now, what's really weird is Aaron was the one that was giggling like a child, and you look like you'd seen like your parents in like a graphic situation. You looked ill, and I've never seen Aaron giggling so much.
I love how you just called it a travelator, not an escalator, like we're in Gladiators.
Would it have made the experience of watching that film more fun?
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, I was just coming down and going, "Awooga!"
A reference I understood.
Yes. So he's. I don't really know where to start with this one. Gerard Butler and who do I say he's got an
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman and Common. You remember Common?
I do.
Rapper?
I know
Right?
he's in Aces and Eights. Again, Common. Just plays generic hitman, doesn't he? Bodyguard.
Yeah. In this one, right, I'm going to get this right. Jared Butler.
Right.
He plays an American submarine captain called Joe Glass. Bit of a maverick of sorts.
Oh, he is.
The Navy are famous for giving like expensive equipment to mavericks.
Yes.
Because the armed forces don't need people who play by the rules.
No. Now, when an Allied ship is sunk by a Russian submarine, Joe Butler is Gerald Butler
Gerald
is called to arms to man a submarine to go and track down what exactly has happened to this sunken Allied vessel, and to kind of just figure out what's going on, because the military back in the United States are unsure of how it's been sunk and what's happened. What they actually do is they stumble into a Russian coup. So it's actually been sunk by a Russian vessel along with another Russian vessel, all in an elaborate plot to create this diversion. While what actually happens is they steal the Russian president, which you hear in the trailer. What Joe Butler then has to do is take surviving members of the wreckage to go and try and save the Russian president, while simultaneously there's a ground crew on who are trying to infiltrate the base that he's being kept hostage. Right. So it's kind of told from 3 storylines: the submarine, the ground platoon that are doing the rescue attempt, and then right the way back here, the command center HQ, where there's a lot of people screaming at TV screens.
Is there a red phone in it?
Yeah, there's all that kind of stuff.
Right,
yeah,
good.
We need to get the president on the line. You know, all that kind of stuff. It was just tosh. It was just nonsense.
It was nonsense.
I mean,
nonsense, then I'm assuming.
I've got the pun ready.
Right.
His career sunk to new levels. All right.
How proud of you are you right now?
It's what's up with this man and with Joe Butler. I used to like him.
Gary Oldman.
No, he's cashing in, isn't he? He's won the Oscar, and now he's like, just going to do a few films. I need a new kitchen, something like that.
It seems to be an Oscar thing. Do you remember when Halle Berry won the Oscar and then did Catwoman? You just don't pick a nice film afterwards.
To be fair, Gary Oldman must have been paid well, because they spent all of the CGI budget on Gary Oldman.
And Gary Oldman's hairline. Because they didn't spend it on the submarine scenes.
No, James, they did not.
It's hard to describe the submarine scenes. There is one scene where they have to go through a minefield of sea mines, where it's just not interesting. And it's like,
you should be tense.
3 degrees to the left. And you're like, we know you're going to get through it. You know, it's just.
Do you remember Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington and I can't remember his name. Anyway, that makes
Common.
that makes like it really tense in that situation. That does a really good job of that film. Like they're being very silent because obviously water carries, and they're being hunted, but they don't know where they are because their radar's down. I remember that being a very, very well done submarine film because it was tense.
They tried that, yeah.
So is it just... So I've seen a trailer when they obviously dive and everyone does that acting thing where they just lean forward.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how far we've gotten with like film technology and graphics? That essentially is exactly the same as the 60s Star Trek, where there's someone goes, "You've just been hit by a torpedo, throw yourself round."
And they all have to move.
Yeah, they were just like, "Oh no."
And do you know what? In that command room as well, it's like they just threw in as many, there's one scene where they're all talking and it's like, there's the white captain. There's, the black second commander. There's an Asian person on board. There's they just throw everyone into this control room. And it's like, we get it. We get
Ticking a lot of boxes.
Do you know what it is? The film, despite all of that about this Russian coup, kidnap attempt on the Russian president, everything that's going on, what the film's trying to do is display a storyline of brotherhood and faith in humanity, and that's what this film is underpinned with. It's all around this we may be on other sides of the world, but we're still humans, and at the end of the day, the good guys will prevail. It's got those real it's trying to have a real deep, meaningful purpose to the film, and it's just rubbish. It's absolute rubbish.
Now, we all know my style of film after the Meg episode. I said when we came out of it, I probably could have put it in that caliber of film if it was about 35, 40 minutes shorter. It's about 2 hours, 10 minutes, something like that, isn't it? It's quite long.
It was easy half a day.
Yeah, easy half a day. I think if it's an hour and a half, it was what it was. Submarines. I mean, let's be honest, the whole film is about a submarine being chased by a load of missiles in it.
Yeah.
It's just not interesting. I think maybe it could have just been like a submarine film, Gary Oldman, but no, it just went on and on and on and on.
When I first saw the trailer, I do remember thinking it was about 3 different films mashed into one. Like they couldn't decide which film to write, so they went, write all of them.
Yeah, there is a place for this film, and that is in the bargain bin of whatever supermarket you go to. It will be there by Christmas. By Christmas, it'll be there. That little £2 sticker on it.
Yeah,
maybe you get a free bag
in
of
the
popcorn with
that
it.
type of thing.
Yeah,
next to the
checkout. And and you're there, and Mavis is serving you, and she says, "Oh, yeah, can I interest you?" And you're like, "No, Mavis, no,
I've been burned before.
We've done this.
I bought Battleship. Never again."
So that was Hunter Killer. I couldn't let us go a week without actually talking about that film and how bad it was. And hopefully, I think it's already gone from the cinema. So I don't think it's gonna victimize anyone else. Right then,
and that's that.
That's that. James, Sam, anything else you want to go into before we go into the meat of the episode?
No.
That's a weird way of saying
You stretching while talking.
I was doing a stretch.
Cool. So we've covered me getting ill. We've covered Hunter Killer, Mandy. Joaquin Phoenix turned 44. We randomly dropped that in.
Oh, just very quickly. So a few episodes ago, you mentioned that they cancelled Iron Fist. They've cancelled Luke Cage.
They have, yeah.
Very upset about that because Luke Cage season 2 was actually very good. I enjoyed that. I liked the first part of season 1 as well. I was quite annoyed when they did that.
He put this great response on Twitter. He put this thing on, like tagging Marvel and tagging Netflix into it. Just saying, because what's his name? It's Michael Colter or something. Yeah. He put this thing on Twitter just saying it was an amazing shoes to fill, and I'm really grateful of it. But I have a new role to play, and a switch with his like newborn. Oh, so I think he became a dad like the day before they dropped it. So I think he's no, don't worry, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Without going to spoilers, they have set it up so that he could appear in the other.
I think he probably will at some point. I don't think this will be the end of him as Luke Cage in some capacity, even if it's just a appearing in Daredevil, because Daredevil season 3's come out as well.
Yeah,
has anyone started Daredevil season 3?
I finished it.
Yet.
Oh, it's brilliant. I'm 2 episodes from the end and I'm loving it.
Don't tell me.
I'm going to tell you what. The other news I was going to say is looks like the reboot in Pirates of the Caribbean, and Johnny Depp is stepping down as Jack Sparrow.
I think that's a probably wise decision. I don't know about a reboot. I mean, it's a park ride, so.
And if you have not seen the trailer for, oh my God, it's so good, I've even forgot it, the Liam Neeson new one.
You posted about it on social media this week.
Yeah, it was called Hard Powder, Snow Driver. Boy, I forgot what it's called now.
Snow Plough Face.
That looks ridiculous as well. They're just looking for new ways that Liam Neeson can be after people, and this time they've put him in as a snowplow driver.
Why don't they just make him a tax man?
Yeah,
I work for the Inland Revenue Service.
yeah.
I have a particular set of skills. I'm really good at dominoes.
I bet he's got a backstory that he was a policeman.
Oh, I bet he was.
I bet he's got a backstory that he worked in some kind of private muscle firm, or at some point in his career he's learnt martial arts. I'm just hunching. I'm punching, boys. That's what I'm doing.
I'd love it to not be anything like that.
No, he's just an absolute everyday guy. Just an everyday guy. It will come to me what that film is called, and we will drop into that.
Stop everything to just say that name out loud.
Yeah. Should we get going with our A to Z of film? We'll just go around the table nice and steadily. We'll start each round with James if you want.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? And then
mix it up. All right.
Okay.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot to get through, so we're not going to be describing the film or what they're about or who's in it and this and that.
Because
we'll be here all night.
The majority of my films you would have seen.
I mean, if you're completely new to film, this is a great episode because you could actually learn of 78 new films in this show.
That was some good maths there, mate.
Thank you very much. Or we might all have picked the same films, in which case we're going to talk about the same 26. I think the rules will be that if you have a film that you particularly want to talk about, stop and hover on it. Whereas if not, like you say, there's a lot of things to get through, so we'll make good. I've just looked on my phone as well. Cold Pursuit is what that film is called. So Liam Neeson, 2019. Yes. Right, James, hit me with your A.
Just quickly before we go, just a quick rule, just before we get hammered down for it. We decided that if you wanted to use A or the, you could, but you didn't have to. So, for example, The Rock or something like you could have
the
for
Terminator
T or
is.
R.
No, that
or
I
you could have it
picked
as
that
T
one.
or T.
So a Clockwork Orange could be A or it could be C. You can get rid of the A and the. It was just A and the, wasn't it?
Yeah, A and D.
What about TV movies?
TV movies? No, it's just films, just feature films. And also, when we get to some of those later letters as well, it almost became, could you just think of a film that began with certain letters?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, James, hit me up with A. What you got?
As Good as It Gets.
Jack Nicholson one.
Jack Nicholson.
I like this one.
It's a great film.
Never seen it.
Yes, you have.
Oh, yeah. No, I have. Sorry. Yes,
you have. I've made you see it. That's why it's
True.
on the list.
Is Greg Kinnear in it?
Greg Kinnear's in it. It's the one where Jack Nicholson plays a very, very famous author who really gets women in his books. And he's actually homophobic, racist, who lives next door to Greg Kinnear, who plays a gay man. He's in love with Helen Hunt. He's quite OCD. Yeah. Always has the same waitress. It's a comedy, which I know does not sound like a comedy. It's brilliant.
It is really good.
The three characters end up going on a road trip, and I loved it. And it's got my second favourite fictional dog in it, because the dog in that, a little pug, I believe, brilliant.
I always remember you saying that, yeah.
The dog in it's fantastic. Just in case you're wondering, number one.
You say fictional dog?
Yeah, but it's not. That dog's not real, is it? I mean, my number one, just in case you were wondering, Eddie from Frasier, of course.
Yes, everyone's. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Everyone loves Eddie.
As Good as It Gets. I couldn't recommend it enough. Like I alluded to, I made Sam watch it. It was one of those films.
Yeah.
Go on, Sam. What you got for A?
No explanation needed. 2000, American Psycho.
Good choice. It was on my list of potentials.
On Netflix, it's in the comedy section.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's a dark comedy. Is how it's. So it's my favourite book of all time.
I was going to say I'm going to buy the book.
Now, I've read the book because you told me about the book.
Yep.
And I will tell you that the book is really tough to read.
Yep. And it's not a dark comedy.
It is not a dark comedy. It is really. So I read a lot of like thrillers, horrors, that kind of stuff. That is top 3 worst books I've read.
It's just insanity for insanity's sake. There's no horror elements. He's just crazy.
He is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's out there orbiting Earth with Gary Busey.
He
crazy.
Is.
That's how bad.
The satellites of terror.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't really sleep much after reading the final. It's kind of like the final part, but it's scarily accurate to the film as well. Obviously, minus what he does with the bodies, which is what makes the book so graphic. Now, American Psycho, linking in a lovely with that. Aladdin, 1994. 1992, what am I saying? 92.
Yeah, nice one.
Now, Aladdin, first film I ever went to go see at the cinema.
Ooh,
so I said that my A to Z
Yeah,
was around myself and films that made an impact. Aladdin was the first film I remember going to watch at the Ritz Theatre in Lincoln. I remember parts of it. I can remember a lot of the kind of going in the temple when he actually steals the lamp, that kind of stuff. But I remember being blown away by it. Robin Williams' performance as well. I think I need to give credit to that. I think I think most people have seen Aladdin. I don't know. I need to tell the story.
About
But
to be
it's
remade,
always,
isn't
it is the live action feature.
With Will Smith as the voice of the genie.
Nah, that's what I was going to go to is that.
Sorry.
No, not the Will Smith thing, but I think it's always worth revisiting just to see how good and to hear how good Robin Williams was as a voice actor and how he brings that character to life because it is truly stunning. Genie in Aladdin is
I think
absolutely
very soon we
fantastic.
need to do a Robin Williams episode.
Did you hear about some of the animation behind that? He would just ad-lib some of the things.
Right.
And so they had to do the animation around what he said because it was so funny. So they had to change the animation of the genie. I thought that was cool.
That's pretty cool.
One of the reasons why we all probably love Robin Williams.
He is just brilliant. That bit when he first comes out of the lamp in the temple is
I love the
brilliant.
songs in Aladdin. They're one of my favourite Aladdin songs, favourite Disney songs. I love Aladdin.
Visually, I think it's stunning. I think it's got a great storyline to it. Great bad guy. Funny. Jafar, yeah.
Oh, mate.
And then in the second
memories.
one, Robin Williams didn't do the voice of the genie. It was the guy who does Homer Simpson's voice.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he came on board, and then Robin Williams came back for the third one, Aladdin and the 40 Thieves. I'm boring the audience. Right, James, go for your B. What you got for B?
No shocker. So we're not going to talk about Big Lebowski. Can't go wrong with the Big Lebowski.
I've absolutely smashed you on this one.
Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I got the Big Lebowski, yeah.
Batman, 1989.
Potentially on my list, but I just can't say no to the Lebowski.
No, I couldn't, no.
I knew you were going to say Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
So there's no point in me pointing it down. And also Batman, again, massive turning point in my film catalogue. Remember seeing that for the first time. Mark Keaton, I thought, did brilliant as the Batman. Prince did the soundtrack. Bat Dance. I mean, come on.
One of the first vinyls you owned, that was, wasn't it?
Beautiful film. Great.
My favourite memory of the Batman vinyl is when they throw it at a zombie in Shaun of the Dead.
yeah. Well, no, they don't throw
They
it at
don't
the
throw
zombie.
it, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Batman. Okay, let's go see. What you got?
Got a different film, so we might need some explanation. I think a few of you have seen it. This is a film I made Anthony Marshall watch called Cube. Six strangers wake up in like this cube-shaped room, and they're surrounded by cubes, other cube-shaped rooms, and some of them are trapped, and some of them aren't. And basically, they don't know why they're there. They've all got amnesia. They've all got different skills to actually survive the different traps, but they don't know yet. Brilliant film, absolutely fantastic. Low budget.
Yeah, I don't think it got highly praised.
But it's a very cult movie.
Yeah, that's one of those I keep hovering on. It's on Netflix or Now TV. It's on one of those.
I believe it's on Netflix now. It's got 2 sequels. Don't watch the sequels are awful. They tried to give a backstory, and it's one of those situations where the backstory would never work because because if they gave it a story, it would never make sense. So they purposely don't have a story. I believe the original director filmed an ending that explained it all, hated it, destroyed it, burnt the evidence. Right, so no one would ever know.
Oh,
Loved it. French director as well. And purposely picked unknown actors so you didn't know which ones were going to survive. Really
I lied that in a film. I think you talked about that last week in the horror films, the horror genres.
Eli Roth, wasn't it?
Yeah. Go on then, Sam. Hit us up with your C.
Probably the earliest film I've got in this list, 1971, Clockwork Orange. Love that film.
What is it that you like about it?
I just love everything about it. I think it's absolutely
You
brilliant.
can't go wrong with everything.
Well, I think Alex is probably one of the coolest characters in film in my eyes. I think it's absolutely awesome.
You've seen that film. It's cool how we describe it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not necessarily
a little bit of ultra violence.
Yeah,
he's cool. I'd hang out with him.
Drinks milk.
Oh yeah, he's
I was going to say, it was very controversial, wasn't it, when it came out?
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's one of my favourite films.
I haven't seen it in so long. I think I really do think I need to rewatch it.
It's one of those films that I don't own, which is weird because I own the book.
Yeah,
I love the book, and I like the film. I just
Never
don't
read the
own
book.
it.
It's a weird one because you see a lot of people dress like that for Halloween and stuff.
I did a few years ago, didn't I?
And it's because you're like, why would you dress like
Bit of
He's a
ultra
rapist.
violence. I'm just going to keep saying that.
Basically, yeah.
yeah, with a penis nose and all that kind of stuff and drink milk? I don't know. Linking into what you've just said there, Coraline.
Oh, beautiful film. I watched it recently with my daughter. So
Yeah, 2009's Coraline.
Never seen it.
I had to put some stop animation in this list. I was blown away by it. Very Tim Burton-esque. It's about a girl and her family who move into a new house, new area, but there's a trap door and a secret world behind that door where there's this other side. So there's a other mother on the other side of the wall and an other dad and all that kind of stuff. and they want to steal Coraline's eyes and give her buttons instead.
Yeah, still have button eyes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like...
I remember seeing the animation. It'd been quite scary for a film aimed at children.
Yeah, for the younger audience, I think it is quite scary. And I think some people said that the...
Not for a 1-year-old.
No. There's some of the...
You're going to jail. Which was so my kid saw.
Some people do say the book is quite dark as well. But I remember watching it and loving it. It got a really good... French and Saunders do some of the voice acting in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I really, 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 really liked it. I go back... Every year I go back to it at some point and put it on. It's kind of like that Sunday afternoon film for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love it.
The cat in it is brilliant.
Awesome,
yeah, it's definitely my second favourite black cat.
Can I go? Oh, what's your number one?
Salem from
Did you know?
Rich.
Did you know Salem's not in the remake?
I do know, and I'm gutted.
Ridiculous is
Has
that?
anyone started watching it yet?
No, because Salem's not in it. Genuinely, when I found out Salem wasn't in it, I was quite annoyed. It was like it was the best thing about the original.
Somebody shared it on Facebook, and they think they'd seen the first couple of episodes, and they just went, "This is my new Stranger Things."
Oh, right.
Like,
apparently, it's quite adult. It's grown up. It's not actually
15 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's in the same universe as that Riverdale program that's on there, isn't it? Which I haven't watched.
Bring back Salem. Hashtag.
Bring back Salem.
Yeah. All right, James, give me the D.
All right, then. You ready for it? You might not have heard of it. It's called Dark City. Stars Kiefer Sutherland. It's the reason I love this film so much. It's also the reason why I don't like The Matrix, because The Matrix a few years later ripped it off. It's a film noir.
Well, bold claims here.
It's set before, and it shows when you watch it, you can see basically a lot of where The Matrix ideals and philosophies came from.
Okay.
Dark City is a futuristic sci-fi film noir. It's about there are these creatures called the Strangers, and they control this city. Dark City, and do you know what? I'm actually not going to ruin it for you because it's a very hidden, dark film that you have to explore for yourself once you watch it. Because if I told you how it would ruin the film for you.
I would watch that already.
So it is very good. And Kiefer Sutherland, he was in that dark period where after the Rat Pack and before he was Jack Bauer, when he wasn't really doing the best films, and this was a golden light in that time. Dark City, brilliant film. Check it out.
Sam's going in for the D.
Die Hard. Aaron?
Thank you very much, Die Hard.
Yeah.
James?
No, I'm still going Dark City because I knew you two were going to pick that. So,
Stranger E. We don't need to talk about Die Hard. It's the best film. The best film ever.
Yeah, in January.
It came out in the greatest year as well, 1988.
Die Hard.
Technically, it came out in the year before.
Favorite cinema experience was watching Die Hard when they came out. It was the best film I've ever seen on the big screen because it was one of the films I've always wanted to see on the big screen. And when they released it, the anniversary,
25th year anniversary, and
we all went and we took Cream. Yay, Cream's in it again.
It was actually released in the 87, and then they pushed it back to the February of 88 to link in with the colder climate.
Makes sense because it's a Christmas movie.
Exactly. We will do a Die Hard episode in January around my birthday time because that's what I'm going to tell you boys we're doing. I've already.
You mean like he said he was going to do the Detectives?
But I'm not the host, mate. So, host makes the rules.
And also, you didn't say at any point in that week, "Hey, boys, watch True Detective," because I'd like to talk about it.
At this point, I'm always watching True Detective. It's always on at some point.
Yeah. So Die Hard is definitely D.
Yeah.
E. Ex Machina.
Oh, good film.
Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too.
I know.
Ex Machina.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with a film. It's about AI that's been created. What's its purpose? What does it want? It manipulates. Does it fall in love? Who knows? Check it out.
Yeah. The only other film I've seen her do is the Tomb Raider reboot.
Yeah. Oh, she's in the Swedish. Oh, she was in another film that went up for an Oscar.
Okay.
Again, I went round Sam's house at like 3 a.m. once with this Blu-ray and was like, we're watching this.
It was literally 3 a.m. and I was like, James, no.
Yeah, I like the film.
Oh my God, it was phenomenal.
It's a good film.
It was brilliant. Yeah. Genuinely, because I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted Sam to watch it with me. I was just bored. It's like, watch this film with me. No. And then I just went into his house and put it on. And
that's what you had for E as well?
Yes, yeah.
The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
It was on my list.
I knew it.
Yeah. So
it was on my list, but then
Episode 1 of the podcast, we did our favourite genre films, and I had to keep this in, really. 2004. My favourite Jim Carrey performance, probably my favourite Kate Winslet performance, probably my second favourite Elijah Wood performance. Next to
one?
Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
No. Okay. I thought you were going for
Sin City.
Sin City.
Actually, Faculty. We talked about that the other day, didn't we? Faculty.
We did, yeah. I've seen that film
that's a Bravo film, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's when Josh Hartnett did movies. Yeah.
What happened
Remember
to
that
Josh
guy?
Hartnett? I think he's somewhere with Reese Witherspoon. Just somewhere.
We know where Josh Hartnett is, James. We just don't know where his acting career is.
This again.
It's also just HubSpot's mine. I loved it. I was just so original, so different, and I was just fully engaged with it. I could have let that film keep going. And actually, funnily enough, this is one that I don't go back to too often because I don't want to take away from it what I loved from it. So brilliant stuff. Right then, A, B, C, D, E, F.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
I nearly put this on my list.
For this one is because it's one of my earliest memories of a film my granddad sit me down and watching with me. And I just think it was a really good film.
But it is that Jack Nicholson bit at the end, isn't it?
And again, I've just realised, I think Kiefer Sutherland is the actor that appears most in my list.
Yeah.
Again, Kiefer Sutherland's in it. Not that, obviously, it's Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, who's also in it twice. Loved that film. It's got some of the most quoted lines. You can't handle the truth. And it just it ages perfectly as well.
Jack Nicholson goes well overboard at the end of that, doesn't it? When he realises the walls are closing in on him, and he comes out with some of the most visceral, disgusting insults. I'm not even going to repeat it, but I'll tell him off air because I can remember some of the things he says. But it's pretty graphic.
Which is rare for me because I really don't like Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is obviously really good in it.
Yeah,
can't fault him.
I like Tom Cruise. I like that film.
Mine is a film that James's granddad sat me down to watch in '99. Fight Club.
Sat you down, put a pair of gloves on you.
Yeah,
made you earn your meals.
Just instead, punch yourself in the face, Sam.
No, good choice. Good solid choice.
I love
Everyone likes Fight Club.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the author, Chad. What's his name? Chuck Palahniuk.
Yes,
he's wrote some really, really interesting books.
I've noticed over the last year he's made his way into your bookshelf.
Into my bookshelf, because his books aren't that long, so I can tend to read it. I can read them in about 3 or 4 nights.
That's why I'm like, I might start reading his stuff.
Yeah, his books.
As soon as he does some pop-up books, I'm in there.
Yeah. I was wondering, didn't you have a colour me in Da Vinci Code once?
Something like that.
Yeah. It was like a Da Vinci Code with pictures or something.
Yeah,
never knew they did them.
Yeah.
James looking at gobsmacked.
I'm just fairly certain in this house isn't there a pop-up Bible?
There's a pop-up everything in this house.
Right, okay, I was just checking.
Yeah. Chuck Palahniuk, he's wrote some cracking books, but Fight Club is probably up there with his top one. I remember seeing that, and I think I went to cinema to watch that. Brad Pitt, one of his best performances. Young Jared Leto in there as well. His bleach blonde hair.
Can't go wrong with a bit of Meatloaf, mate.
Angel Eyes.
Oh yeah, Meatloaf's in it as well, isn't he?
Bob.
He does, yeah.
He's good in it. He plays a good Bob.
He does play. He plays the best Bob in that film.
He does play the best Bob in that film.
And I'll tell you another thing I like about the film is that Take It Back Sunday, the band did the song Cute About the E, and their music video was Fight Club. Them acting out Fight Club, yeah.
I never knew that.
Aaron hit us with some F's.
What's your F, mate?
Forrest Gump. Shut up, James.
Shut up, James.
Before you diss this.
I won't say anything. It's your list.
Forrest Gump 1994. Remember the first time watching that, cry like a baby at the end. Such a sad film. This film, to me, watching it, I mean, I would have been, 7 when it came out. I don't think I watched it when I was 7, but I remember seeing it early and the scope of the film being like, we're at war scenes and now he's playing ping pong and, and it's like, what's going on? And just being blown away by like the sheer kind of, the vastness of the storyline. But it's what I loved about it.
James's face.
And at its core, Tom Hanks, all right?
Potatoes himself.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. It's like the TV is hugging you whilst you're watching Tom Hanks do his graft. Forrest Gump.
G. James.
So this one, I need to give a shout out to Emma Bostock because I had a low for G and then she told me, she said, why haven't you got this film in? And it was so perfectly right that I had to scratch out what I had and write this film down.
Tell us what you had.
I can't remember now because this film overtook it so much.
Gigi.
I think it actually might have been Goodfellas or something.
Gigi.
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, great film.
Clint Eastwood. How was that not
Never
on
seen
there?
it.
Have you not?
No.
Oh,
I sat down to watch it one Sunday afternoon And I think somebody came round and I turned it off.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
film.
I think I was half hour into it and I was really enjoying it, but I just never got around to finishing it.
Yeah.
He bonds with a, want to say Vietnamese kid?
Yeah, I think he's,
Who basically stop him from, he shows him how to be a man, basically.
He's a bit of a rackist in it.
So he plays a very conservative elderly man whose family's died. He doesn't get on well with his family. He doesn't seem to suit the new world correctly. Like, they want to get him like this big phone and stuff so he can dial it because they assume he's got arthritis because he's old, but he's a man's man. And he shows this kid how to be a man's man.
Yeah,
hijinks ensue.
He likes a beer on the porch with a shotgun on his lap.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
I wish I had a porch.
Love this film.
That is, honest to God, that is the top thing on my list, is a porch and a rocking chair.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm going to get it in
Moonshine.
Lincoln, but I'm going to. That is the goal.
I mean, I could get you shotgun in Lincoln. So, but no, so, I feel bad for not remembering this film. So thank you, Emma.
Fond memories of that, because I went with my dad to watch that at the cinema. Me and my dad went. And I thought it was stunning. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And don't Clint Eastwood sing the song at the end, the Gran Torino?
You told me that before.
Yeah,
I
think he does.
It's one of these films that I
yeah.
don't rewatch often because obviously,
I think
spoilers, the ending does actually put it down on it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, I don't really want to feel sad.
I think he does it a cappella at the end. Just sings,
Oh, that's cool.
some words at the end. What do you get, Sam, for G?
Something very similar, Goon.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Now, Oscar territory now. Hey.
Now, I'd just like to say, the other enforcer, have you seen Goon?
Yeah.
So the other enforcer, the guy who plays Sabretooth in the Wolverine film.
Liv Schreiber.
Liv Schreiber. My mate's just had a big tattoo of him on the inside of his arm.
That is
with
amazing.
His Goon number behind it. It looks
Goon number.
awesome.
I thought you were just like, of Liv Schreiber.
It's a tattoo of him, but then he's got the number of his jersey behind him. It's awesome. I'll show you a picture of it.
I've got a quick question.
Go on.
Why?
Goon's his favourite film. He loves it.
You never question a tattoo.
Right, okay.
Never
No, you
question
don't.
why someone's got a tattoo. You
You're
just
not allowed.
take it at face value.
So yeah, Goon, once again, it's not by any means the best film in the world. I can watch it over and over and over and over and over again. I just think it's brilliant. That's it.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Your list is exactly what I expect your list to be.
Yes. I love this film. It's an ensemble cast in every sense of the word. It's a unique story. It's shot with that visionary eye that Wes Anderson has. You know when you're watching one of his films, from everything is thought out, from the frames to what people are wearing to the set design, everything. I loved even people that normally get on my nerves in films like Edward Norton. I think he comes through really good in it. It reintroduced us to Jeff Goldblum because he'd been hiding somewhere for a while, and here he is in this film. Ray Fiennes' best performance for me since Schindler's List. Definitely. Plus, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Voldemort, mate.
He who shall not be named.
Sorry.
Muggle. Yeah, it's just a wicked film. It's all over the place. It's zany. Harvey Keitel pops up in it. It's that kind of cast. It's just brilliant. If you can get that many people to fly over to Europe to do one scene, two scenes, or whatever contribution, and they do it, you know that it's because the script's good, it's unique, it's no one else is doing what Wes Anderson's doing, and obviously Bill Murray. I mean, if Bill Murray's not in your list, I'm upset.
No, he's not in mine.
I don't think he's in my list.
I've never seen a Wes Anderson film.
We're gonna have a good day one day.
We will, but I will say I really don't like Wes Anderson's face.
Luckily, he tends to be behind the camera.
Well,
it's really funny.
When you see a picture of Wes Anderson, you think, "Oh yes, smarmy."
Yeah.
I was talking to myself earlier because Aaron said, "Do you can always tell when you're watching a Wes Anderson film?" And I had to bite my tongue.
Is this why you was laughing?
Yeah, because I was like, "Because you're really bored." I desperately wanted to say that, but I didn't because I do like Grand Budapest Hotel. You made me watch that.
Grand Budapest is wicked. Giving him a shout out again. The Show Me the podcast that you talked about last week, they do a Wes Anderson episode. Go back and check that out because they do talk about Life Aquatic, which I think is always the one that gets overlooked. But Moonrise Kingdom for me is the other one to
you see, that is the one I want to start with.
Yeah, that's wicked, that film.
Yeah.
Oh, Grand Budapest Hotel for me is probably a good gateway drug into Wes Anderson.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a day of it.
We'll watch Goon.
We'll introduce me. Yeah, we'll watch Goon and then you can introduce me to Wes Anderson and his stupid face.
Let's go with H.
Then I'm going to start with Hidden Figures.
Nice. So we're going, that was like 2017, wasn't it?
So it's a recent one. So a bunch of black women who work in the NASA space program help, break down some walls. Kevin Costner's really good in it, which is probably why it's on there. It's like, what's the one thing you remember about Hidden Figures? The plight of race, the plight of women. No, it's Kevin Costner actually acts in it. He doesn't just look at the camera someone smeared peanut butter on the inside of his lips, so it looks like he's talking. Well, that was really horrible. Kevin Costner, I apologise. No, Hidden Figures, absolutely. It's one of those feel good. Watch it with my mum. Love that film.
With my mum.
With my mum.
I was really pleased when that came out on RTV. I made a night of it. I was like, it's popcorn in. I heard great things about it. Did not disappoint. Wicked film.
Mashhad Ali's in it, who's becoming fast one of my favourite actors.
He is stunning, yeah.
95, Heat.
Yeah, he was bound to be on this list somewhere.
You said that with like full stop. Heat.
Oh, nice. He's added it. No, fair play. We don't need to say more than that.
You don't need to say any more than that. We've gone through it in the Machina Dinner episode. Awesome film. Awesome.
Now, 3 times in my list, I've got 2 films because I truly could not decide.
You have to pick one.
Now, I'm just going to tell you because they're very similar. Now, we've made this joke already, but I'm going to do it again.
What are the sequels? Is it Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and Harry Potter? Is it? It's just the look you've given me. Is it?
Yes.
Is it really? Oh my God, Aaron!
Wait. If you can guess the other film, right, so it was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Order of the Phoenix.
No, it's not another Harry Potter.
Oh.
So this is it. So it was Harry Potter or another film beginning with H. That I couldn't distinguish which one was my favourite.
Oh, damn it. That's going to drive me mental. Oh, I can't do it. It's when he puts us in these tight situations. I can't do it. When he says it, I'm going to know it. I'm going to start pissing myself.
Harry Brown.
Highlander. Let me explain.
Do you know what? That should have been on my list because the first film I ever watched with my dog was Highlander.
With your dog?
It's the first film she ever stopped fidgeting and just watched. Kurgan, she loved the Kurgan.
Now let's just go through Highlander. This is really difficult for me, James. Right? You're laughing your way out. Highlander.
He's so serious.
Growing up in my house was a big thing. Highlander. Me and my brother used to watch Highlander all the time.
You made me watch it. You too.
I like Highlander. Brilliant film.
Linking into this top of the episode, Queen did the whole soundtrack to the film.
Good choice.
Christopher Lambert, great performance. You've got the Kurgan in there as well, played by Clancy Brown.
Fantastic. One of my favourite bad guys.
Some great action scenes. Wielding a sword in modern day America, in New York or wherever it is at the end. The Highlander is absolutely brilliant. And in my household, in my family, it was a big thing growing up. So that was my first thing. But the reason why I bring in Harry Potter is because I didn't get the buzz when it came out.
Yeah.
The first one came out and I remember watching it and thinking, God, these kids are unbearable.
Love the game though.
Oh, the
PlayStation game was
that
awesome.
game was solid.
I do remember it being hard. The bank level was ridiculous.
The bank level?
Yeah.
Yes. You're in that shit thing.
Yeah.
God,
that's the furthest I ever got in that game.
Oh, I did. I used to babysit for someone. And,
Are you going out? I want to play the game.
No, yeah. I used to babysit, and this kid was like, "Oh, can you help us get past this level?" I was like, "I can do anything on PlayStation 1. What are you on about?" And then they brought out Harry Potter, and I started sweating. I was like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "I'm stuck on this level." I was like, "The bank level." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh!" And I did it that night.
Did you?
Yeah.
My sister is still waiting for me to complete that.
I was that proud. I went and woke him up to tell him.
Flicked him in the eye.
Yeah,
I've done it.
I told you I could do anything. Yeah. No, it was around the Goblet of Fire time that I was like, hold on, there's something in these films that's, that it's building this giant world and I don't know, and I just kind of got into it after that, and we are doing a Harry Potter episode at some point because the jokes we're going to be able to make it's going to be so fun. It's going to be wicked. So
don't make me watch it.
But then look at it. I mean, look at the caliber of actors that are in it. Look at what it's done for England and British film
and the book industry. It kind of revived the books.
Yeah,
books was dying,
and look how many people it influenced to read. So I don't think you can discredit Harry Potter in 2018 by just going like, oh, you like Harry Potter?
Yeah,
no, I really like it.
Do you think there is a game for each of the films, or at least most of them?
There is.
For the first couple, surely.
The game license is owned by EA. EA make games.
Yeah,
Don't do anything.
I'll tell you something, because I think I may have only watched 1 or 2 of the films.
You'll play the games.
2. The first, I will play the games instead of watching the films.
Yeah.
Between now and then.
I don't think you'll get the same experience.
I don't care.
No, I think they're good films. They're good films.
Give you a heads up, my eye is 2 films as well. But James, we're on you, so let's go.
I don't know. You see, I think I've one eye. You sure you want me to go first?
Yeah.
In Bruges.
Awesome film.
I'm well annoyed because that is mine now.
Yeah, no, I was going to say in Bruges, it's got to be on the top.
That's one that you said I'd regret.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Because as soon as I saw your eye when you got your notepad out earlier, I was like, no, as soon as I say it, you're going to regret it. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Yeah.
That
is such a good film.
Two hitmen end up on the lam in Bruges. Ooh, clever title. You said it earlier, Ralph Fiennes, best acting since in Bruges.
Yeah, actually, Ray Fiennes is stunning in this. Yeah, Colin Farrell gets into a mishap, doesn't
It
he?
is not PC.
Yeah,
This comedy is not PC. It's brilliant.
Gets sent to Bruges to lay low for a while with Brandon Gleeson, isn't it?
Brendan, isn't it?
Brendan Gleeson. To lay low, and then hijinks ensue.
And that is it. Hijinks ensue.
Now,
the level of swearing in it is actually comedic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It's done in such a
just
funny
call
way.
you an
Yeah.
effing inanimate object. That line, tears.
It's a Film 4 production as well, isn't it?
It is,
Yes.
yes.
It's brilliant. So I went to Bruges after watching that film, and
Were you disappointed?
no,
Oh,
because,
no, brilliant.
Yeah, you can go up the belfry like they do in the film. You can go all the way to the top. Halfway up, people start writing on the walls, and you can actually find Colin Farrell's. He's wrote on it as well. He's put that that bit where he's like, "Never thought I'd go to Bruges." Like the only people that go to Bruges are X, Y, and Z. He's wrote all that on the wall.
Oh, wicked.
When you were
Yeah.
in Bruges, did you see the alcoves?
I did not. No. Yeah, great film. Loved it. Yeah, it's a really good choice. So that was yours as well.
No, it wasn't. Well, this is what annoys me is every set of nights I've ever done, bearing in mind I've done the job for 8 years, I've taken that film. So how I did not pick it up is because of the last set, I didn't take it and I took Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, it's a good
which
film.
I love because of Christoph Waltz. Yeah. As a character, he's probably one of my favourite characters. He's just
he's fantastic.
evil
actor.
mofo in it. He's awesome.
He's a
awesome
wicked
film.
bad guy, isn't he?
Oh God, he's so good.
That first scene,
Yeah.
and then the cake scene, the dessert scene.
Oh,
He's-
yeah. Oh God, yeah.
And he won Best Supporting Actor for that, didn't he, as well? That
Did he?
performance.
I'm not surprised. So
Yeah.
amazing.
Eli Roth turns up in it as well as the Jew bear, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's the Jew bear. He's
Yeah.
the big one with the baseball bat.
Yeah. Brad Pitt, obviously, and Mark Fassbender's in it. Even, what's his name? Mark Myers turns up, doesn't he?
He does.
In Austin Powers.
He gives them the mission. We're sending.
Does it?
I can't do it.
Sending
yeah,
our
of course.
boys in. Yeah.
Yeah, of course he does. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Inglourious Bastards. I absolutely love it. But it's in Bruges.
It is in Bruges. I'll keep it short and keep it sweet because I think we talked about him in other ones. Into the Wild, 2007. The Emilio Hirsch one, directed by Sean Penn. Watched that film. A year later, I went travelling. Simple.
That was directed by Sean Penn.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, soundtrack by Eddie Vedder, obviously. Watched that film. 12 months later, backpack. See it. That is the influence that film had on me. Other one that I couldn't tear it towards was, because undoubtedly that was probably the best year of my life, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade.
I was going to say on my list originally, but as soon as I remembered in Bruges, it was just in Bruges.
That was, even though it's obviously not a Christmas film, it was on every Christmas.
Oh, it's a brilliant film.
It is
I love it.
in our household, that came on, that was movie day. BBC One would play it. After would be the National Lottery or something like that, or Noel Edmonds' house party. But you had
Every
that,
Christmas,
yeah.
they do 3 weeks. So one Sunday, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, then it's Temple of Doom, and then it's always Last Crusade.
And it's really weird because it
ends after 3 because there's only 3 films.
There was only 3 Indiana Jones films.
Yeah, I know there was.
They should have made a 4th.
They should have made a
good
4th.
one.
I'm glad that they didn't, though.
In the last Crusade, what I like about it is it's always on telly on BBC One at like 4, 5 o'clock. Even though there's a lot of Nazis in that film as well. And the subject matter is quite dark, but nevertheless, what we got for Jay?
Just quickly. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were trying to wrap their brains about who would be cool enough to play Indiana Jones's dad, and they came to one conclusion: there was only one character in the history of the world that was cool enough to be Indiana Jones's dad. It was the original James Bond, so that's why they hired Sean Connery.
Yes,
he didn't audition for it. They didn't consider anyone else. If he wouldn't have taken the part, he wouldn't have been his dad.
And he's great in it.
I do like that.
Yeah, and River Phoenix.
Yes,
at the very beginning, plays young Indiana Jones.
That's originally what I was going to say at the beginning. That's really cool that you brought it up. Jay, very simple. You'll understand why. Jurassic Park.
2. Yeah, I've got Jurassic Park.
John Wick.
Nice, good film.
Nice.
I love Jurassic Park, but I have seen it a billion times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's part of the reason why I picked it. I just think it's always a good film.
I get that. I'm now. I don't know if I'm want something to keep me awake on nights, John Wick.
Yeah.
Because it's balls to the wall, isn't it?
John Wick is seriously cool.
It's awesome.
Working film. Second one's good. Go away for the third one. John Wick.
From a TV show, apparently.
Yeah, John Wick is just a revenge story, isn't it?
I just think it's coming out too fast, too soon. It's just like it's becoming a franchise too quickly. It's losing what made the first one good.
Yeah, I've got to say, my daughter's mother, she told me how she's never cried at a film and blah blah blah. And we watched John Wick together, and she bawled her eyes out.
Oh.
Keanu Reeves isn't that bad, is it?
The scene with Theon at the beginning.
Yeah, she bawled her eyes out. And
another reason
I
why
thought she was originally taking the piss, and I looked at her and she really was bawling.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
At the end of Hunter Killer as well, we're trying to figure out who the Russian general was, and he was the bad guy in John Wick, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Jurassic Park
Theon
for me.
Greyjoy?
No, Theon's the son of him. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Jurassic Park, just for the sheer what Spielberg achieved in that film. But again, soundtrack, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill. What more do you want? Brilliant film. Brilliant film. All right, and let's go with K.
No further explanation needed. The King's Speech.
James, explain, mate. What? Why?
Who doesn't love the King's Speech? Do you not?
No.
Really? Well, you know what? I wasn't allowed to slag off Forrest Gump, so you can't say anything about... I don't know if I
like Colin Firth. That's the thing.
I really like... I thought he was brilliant.
I don't know if I like him.
Let's save it. Because I said nothing about Forrest Gump. You're not allowed to be mean
you
to
did in
King's
previous
Speech.
episodes, though. And what did you think about King's Speech?
He's not seen it. Of course he's not seen it.
I've seen King's Speech.
What do you
His
think?
speech goes on, doesn't it? I'm just thinking, chill out, mate. You know what I mean? Let's just... No, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Yeah. Plays a T-Rex.
Unless he's a Velociraptor, I got to know.
Jeffrey Rush was good in it. He was good in it.
I thought everyone was in it was very good.
I'll go back and rewatch it. I wasn't that blown away by it, but yeah, okay, cool.
Going back to one of the nicest men in Hollywood, Knock Knock.
Who's there?
Hey? What?
Actually, I don't know Knock Knock. Explain
You've
it to
never
me.
seen it?
I don't think so.
I can't even remember his name now. You've completely put me off.
What? You've really gone apart. You have.
You know,
who's the nicest man in Hollywood?
I got it afterwards. I was like, what are you on about? You were staring right in my eye and it freaked me out.
I thought you were playing along. Like there was a joke.
No.
Who's the nicest man in Hollywood?
One of the nicest. John Wick. I forgot his name now.
Keanu
Reeves, yeah.
Oh, the one where he meets the two.
One. Yes, I've seen this.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you now.
No, it's a horror one, isn't it?
Because you was looking me in the eye and you had such a deadpan face when you said that. I was like, what?
It's a joke. He meets
the home invaders.
Again, by no means an amazing film, but I really enjoyed it and it's one that it's just something different. I wanted to bang a bit of horror in there, so I thought, you know what? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And
yeah, because I've got no horror in mine.
Have you not?
Oh, maybe one which goes over that way.
I don't class it overly as a horror film, but I do love a bit of Keanu Reeves, to be fair.
Kubo and the Two Strings for me.
Still not seen it. I did put it on with Little and she started crying. So
2016 again, animation film. Talked about it on, I think it was like episode 3 or 4, but do check out Kubo and the Two Strings. It's available on like Sky, Netflix and all them places now. So cool. All right then, let's go with L.
See, L's a tricky one because I had loads for this, but ultimately, LA Confidential, favourite film of all time. Can't have it any other way. LA Confidential.
It was going to be, but I had Leon.
No, I can't. It's one of these. It's such a great letter. L's my favourite letter for movie titles.
Logan for me.
I thought Logan
again
was
another one. It was on my list, but
all great films. Don't think you could get any wrong with them.
No.
So what did you go for with M?
Right. So this is left field because I was talking about memories with good people. I was talking about M at work today, and Neil Dawson mentioned his favourite film of all time, Muriel's Wedding, Australian comedy with Toni Collette. Forgot how much I loved that film. Earliest memory of that is watching it with my granddad and my mum and laughing. It was a brilliant film. Muriel's Wedding, so underrated. It's about a Australian woman who moves to the big city, kind of fails but kind of fakes it. Brilliant film, loved it.
Yeah, I like Toni Collette. She's such a good
so did I. Like I said about Hereditary, my favourite thing about her was her acting. The rest of that film was awful, so sorry.
Because I forget she's Australian.
Yeah. She does I think she's one of my favourite female actors, to be fair. Yeah.
Man on Fire.
Good choice.
Again,
M, I would like to point out, great letter again.
Another great letter,
but when he said Muriel's Wedding, I was like, I've got such fond memories I have to watch for. But Man on Fire, cracking film.
I actually thought you'd go for Man on Fire.
It was on the list. Again, there was lots on the list for him.
I liked M. Man on Fire. But I went for Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Exactly.
Good
that
choice,
was
sir. Good
Holy
choice.
Grail. I always think is better than Life of Brian, but they're both classic
I
films.
totally agree with you.
1975. I remember it was a school night. It came on. My granddad had this strict bedtime rule. Channel 4 starts playing Monty Python. He looks over. He says, "Have you seen this film?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, stay quiet. You stay down. You
It's
can
one
watch
of the
it."
films you break the rules for.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious
definitely.
watching it. First time I see my granddad laughing like that. Couldn't believe the ending. You know, I remember seeing it going like, "How are they going to
How is this an
And
ending?"
then
Yeah.
what do they do at the end of that? I think it's my favourite Python film.
It is such British comedy as well. And the stereotypes about the French people at the beginning when they're doing
Yeah.
it smells of elderberry. It's quotable.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't seen the film, you know quotes from that film. Brilliant.
Tis
Good
but a
choice.
scratch.
Good choice, Aaron.
Let's go with N then.
So when I first got into movies, when I was a young teenager, one of the first films I bought, and I was really thinking it's a bit risque, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
Brilliant film. Loved it. About a couple that become celebrities whilst on a crime spree. Written by Quentin Tarantino, but he didn't direct it. He had to sell the rights to basically afford to live. So he sold it on to, I want to say Oliver Stone. And Quentin Tarantino can't watch that film because he had a completely different vision to it than Oliver Stone had. And I always think that's fascinating that I love the film, but I was always wanted to see Quentin Tarantino's way.
The side of it.
Yeah,
of
because
course.
they are completely polar opposites. Like Oliver Stone has his own print on it, and it's remarkable. And first appearance on my list of the actor whose name I've forgotten.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say, Woody Harrelson's, because he's an interesting guy when you look at his film, because you look at things like Indecent Proposal, you know, that he was in,
Yeah.
and you think, wow,
Robert
he's
Red-
done polar opposites with his career, and he pulls them off really well.
I
And
just think he picks films that he enjoys.
yeah, yeah. And
Not like Gary Oldman. I can't really see him ever. Well, actually, to be fair, no, there was that period in the early 90s where he needed to redo his house. So
but it's like, is that Woody Harrelson's defining performance, do you think?
it's possible. He's up there. I loved it.
I love
think-
him in everything. I loved him in the Hunger Games. You know, anything he pops up in now.
Yeah, I don't think off the top of my head I can't think of anything he's bad in. No, I'd really like
Obviously,
Woody
No
Harrelson.
Country for Old Men. I thought he was, brilliant in, which again was a real potential for N.
Yeah, it was for me because obviously I only watched it recently.
It was up there for me. Again, No Country for Old Men, but because I went with the memories thing, I went for Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. Where'd you go with him?
I went for Nightcrawler.
Cracking film. Good choice.
It was either No Country for Old Men or Nightcrawler, and I just think I would take this to watch and that's me.
Yeah.
It's awesome, just awesome. Again, we got back from the cinema, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
Come
just
back
watched
here.
something, didn't we?
We'd watch something. We'd gone for a couple of beers at the pub next to the cinema. 2-3 beers there. Come back here. Grabbed a case on the way back and said, "Oh, we'll just flick through Netflix." You bang this on.
Aaron and I went to
show me
cinema
it,
to see this.
yeah.
And I've never seen such outrage when the Oscar nominations were announced and he wasn't on the list.
I couldn't believe it.
I
It was
don't
the
get it.
angriest, one of the angriest times I've ever seen Aaron.
I think we have to.
You're
discuss this
indignant,
later,
you were,
yeah.
sir. Indignant.
Yeah, but because it's off the back of like the Prisoners film as well,
Yeah,
how
it
him
was
and
a
Hugh Jackman
cracking
were not
time.
nominated for that, and I think they wasn't nominated because of what it was portraying. This, like if anyone's not seen
Media
it,
sleaze bags.
yeah, it's and it's about America's lust for knowing about other people's misery, as they're eating their breakfast, but. As a character study, Jake Gyllenhaal's performance of Lewis Bloom in that film, I think, is really worth a watch. If you're into film, look what Jake Gyllenhaal's doing with that character because I think that is absolutely stunning.
Cracking choice.
Lost a shit ton of weight for that as well. Didn't
Yeah, it's what, and it sounds really cliche, but what his eyes are doing in that film, and it's that like don't say it, show us kind of acting, and I think he's phenomenal.
There's one specific scene in the house, and that bit chills me.
Yeah,
And I very rarely get chilled at a film.
I went with Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993 animation.
Wow, I didn't see that.
So,
coming.
never seen it. Confessions list, never seen it.
Okay,
Really?
Yeah, never seen it.
Wow.
it's a really weird one.
It's Tim Burton all over me, and I don't like Tim Burton.
You're not a
being,
Tim Burton
No,
fan,
I'm
are you?
not. When he's being very Tim Burton-y.
Tim Burton when he's being Tim Burton.
It's not a Tim Burton film, is it? He's only producer on it. He
produces
doesn't
it.
direct
Well,
or write it.
it's all his artwork.
Yeah.
These are all his characters. It's just a great film. And again, it's one of them that sits awkwardly because you don't watch it at Halloween time. but then I don't really watch it at Christmas. It's a November film. You know, it's the kind of watch it in that interim.
I thought you would have gone for Nightcrawler. I'm very surprised.
I was torn
I get
between
it. It's very you.
I think like Night Before Christmas as well, what it created in terms of like the marketing around it, and you know how everyone loves it, and it is an absolute classic.
I mean, they'll be making money off merchandise for that film for
forever,
100 years, won't they?
Yeah. You're never further away than I'd say 100 feet of someone with a Jack Skellington tattoo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's got to be one of the number one tattoos.
Well, even
right?
my brother's got one, hasn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Right, let's go with O then.
Right, so weirdly, again, a film that I found it very hard to select one. So I went with one that epitomises O. O, Brother, Where Art Thou?
I put that and I crossed it out. I had that.
It was that or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Which I did put.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
A fantastic film. Coen Brothers. If you know anything about me, I'm a Coen Brothers mark. I love them. I'm sticking it in there.
Yeah, because it's the tales of, is it Homer?
It's Homer's Odyssey retold for kind of like 40s America.
Yeah.
George Clooney. George Clooney, first film I ever actually remember liking him in.
You confess to lying Out of Sight.
I like you. I'd like to point out you said you also liked Out of Sight.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah.
I was talking about a certain film that, oh no, he's not in the whole Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
After that, I remember, no, George Clooney's not for me. And then, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah, he's, you know what?
John Goodman, Dapper Dan Earwax.
John Goodman playing Cyclops with his eye patch, obviously. Yeah, fantastic film. Soundtrack's phenomenal. You own it, don't you? On the vinyl.
I do indeed.
Got to crack that on. Cracking film. Love it.
Constant Sorrow song.
Oh, and one of my favourite underrated actors, John Turturro.
Yeah,
fantastic in it. Plays Jesus in Big Lebowski.
Yeah, and he's also in the Transformers film. Moving on.
Unfortunately.
So mine was between One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which you just said you picked, or Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which you just picked. Say, I went for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because it was one of, obviously, you know, I wasn't big into film growing up, but this was one of the first films I watched from the 70s that I went, wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, it's 75, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. I loved One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I saw it late because I borrowed the DVD off you.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cracking film. I absolutely adore that film. Saw it on an old VHS copy. I want to say it was my dad's. I can't remember. Just fantastic film. And the ending, it's one of those films, when I rewatch it, I know I'm going to feel sad. But when I'm watching it, I actually forget I'm about to feel sad. There's an ending I actually kind of, like, my mind seems to block.
Yeah.
So.
Can you remember his name in it?
Murphy.
Yeah, Randall McMurphy, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Randall Murphy.
Yeah, I think it's McMurphy, but he's called him Murphy.
I think it is McMurphy, but they call him Murphy.
Yeah, and so he's doing time, isn't he? And he thinks it's going to be easier if he does it.
He pretends he's mentor,
yeah.
And then he pretty much just tells the doctor at the beginning that he's faking it, but it's the nurse Ratchet that keeps him there. Nurse Ratchet is one of my favourite bad guys.
Yeah,
so
because she then obviously rations his cigarettes, and but then he becomes a bit of a kind of leader of sorts.
I was going to say, he becomes a leader, doesn't he? Maverick. Why doesn't it? Why he's become such a maverick? I'm surprised they don't give him his own submarine.
But it's a weird one because you forget very early on that he's doing time for statutory rape, isn't he?
He is because she was an underage girl,
15-year-old on a farmland. Yeah, so it's so again, it's one of them films where you're like, well, I don't really know where I stand with the main character and stuff. But regardless, it has. One of those endings that I don't. When you've watched it once, you never forget. As James was saying,
great film. And during that film, the first time I ever saw that film was the first time I ever heard a girl trump. So I learned that girls trumped during that film.
Wow, that's a breaking moment in your life.
Penises.
Well,
out of curiosity, were you like 23 when you?
No, it was about 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
Wait, so you was in the magical forest where all ladies go?
Yeah, that's where I watched it. Yeah.
How did they get TV?
I was just laid there watching it. I just said, oh.
Yeah, sounded like a question.
Smells like an answer.
God, for God's sake.
And Pete.
I don't know why I've written this as a joke. It's not very funny, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Never seen
absolutely fantastic, delightful film, charming. Also, again, one of my favourite books.
Yes,
absolutely love this film. Charming. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I know Emma Watson's in it, but the guy who steals the show is a character called Nothing. A very good character, very complex. I love that film. Just at the same time, it's a film that you feel bad halfway through, but at the end you feel good. It's quite the emotional roller coaster. Very enjoyable film.
Cool. Pineapple Express, of course.
Awesome film. I love Pineapple Express.
Why not?
Yeah.
Love it.
One of the best comedies out
One
there.
of my
isn't it?
favourite comedies next to This Is the End, which I couldn't have for tea. So Pineapple Express had to make it in there.
What are you going to have it for tea?
Oh, you have to.
Well, I'll tell
it's
you.
the main event. Tea was the hardest one. I would agree with that, but I went with Pan's Labyrinth.
On my list. It was on my list.
Yeah.
Had to go.
Pan's Labyrinth. Again, just for the sheer visionary directing, obviously from Del Toro, isn't it?
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
He's got such a cool sounding name. That man is cool.
It's a children's fable-esque style film, but it's dark. It's gritty. But yeah, I love the characters in it. Fawn, and I can never remember his name, but I think he's called the No-Faced Man or something.
He is called the No-Faced Man.
Yeah, that's
Slender Man.
It's a really creepy scene. That scene. It's brilliant though. You would love Pan's Labyrinth.
I've seen it years and years and years ago. I just don't really remember it.
If you can get past the subtitles, which obviously put some people off, but yeah, wicked film. Okay, Q.
Q's a hard one. There's only one film I have any memory. It was going to cinema with my mum to see it, so that's why I've picked this one. It's called The Quiet American with Michael Caine, and I want to say the guy who played George of the Jungle.
What's his name?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan
Brendan Fraser, that's it.
Yeah, it was an alright film. I have good memories of it, which is why it never a film that I've rewatched, but Q was a very hard letter. Come on. Because originally I was going to go with Quadrophenia, but I haven't seen that film in about 10 years and I didn't want to mention that because I don't think it's fair. Because when I rewatch that film, I want to enjoy it, not because I've got to come up with a Q.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you see, this is what I did. I had to come up with a Q because I'd never seen a Q because the only two I could think of was Queen of the Damned and Quadrophenia, and I've not seen either of them.
I love Quadrophenia.
So over the weekend, I watched A Quiet Place.
Good choice.
I watched A Quiet Place with Sam.
I said good choice. I haven't seen it.
I put Q on my list as Quiet Place. I would have gone with Queen of the Damned just because of the soundtrack, not because of the film.
Brilliant soundtrack.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis.
I've heard
When
the
you
soundtrack,
both
I've
said
never-
Q and I was like Quantum of Solace, and you both ignored it. It just went on Messenger scene. it's not a good Bond film.
It's the weakest of the Daniel Craig ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, Queen of the Damned soundtrack, Jonathan Davis from Korn, brilliant. But Quiet Place, the John Krasinski film with Emily Blunt, brilliant film. Came out this year, so I imagine most people would know what that film is if you listen to a film podcast.
Again, I'm going back to the films I make people watch to form that friendship bond. It's got to be Coen Brothers. It's got to be Raising Arizona. Nick Cage.
Wicked film.
John Goodman.
That was going to be mine.
Cracking film.
Awesome film.
Couple can't conceive a child. So this is a comedy, I like to point out, not a dark. So they steal one.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about raising a kid. It's hilariously funny. Fantastic film. Nicolas Cage at his peak of comedy powers.
Yeah, I was going to go for that, but instead I went for The Rock.
Nicolas Cage
Nicolas Cage, it's still Cage.
Nick Cage
Still
still
good.
there.
the other end of the...
And Sean Connery. Good choice.
Right, I'm telling you
and
right
Harris.
now, we could put that film on and I could
Word for word.
word for
I
word.
was gonna say, it's one of them
You
films
say
that's-
that. I watched it with you about 8 years ago and you did it word for word.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, it's one of them films that after about 10 minutes, mate, I think muscle memory would set in.
That's
and
it.
I think I'd know the words.
I could tell you the whole script.
Man,
of that
you
film.
just fucked up your Ferrari. It wasn't mine.
It's not mine.
No,
Yeah.
it is
it's
this.
just so weird to think you was 9 year old when this came out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that film.
Cracking action. One of my favourite action films, actually, to be fair. Love
Really
The Rock.
weird that Sean Connery was in that as well, and like
He
you said,
does
Ed
play-
Harris and John C. McGinley turns up as well.
He plays James Bond, though, doesn't he? That's the idea, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he is actually James Bond. Cool, I liked that little
I
nod.
preferred him with his longer hair at the beginning as well. I didn't like him when that bomb put it on. Yeah.
you piece of shit.
Why am I not surprised, you piece of shit?
Oh, God, let's watch The Rock.
Yeah.
Let's sod this off and watch The Rock.
Come on.
Yeah,
Mate, The Rock.
it's just when that hairdresser's,
Oh, The Rock. I
it's when
love
that
The Rock.
hairdresser's in the lift with him, and he's like, "I'm going to pretend that I didn't see you throw that
Yes.
man off the building.
All
I
I
just want to
care
know
about
is, do you like your haircut?"
Gentlemen, welcome to The Rock.
The Rocket Man. Do you know it? No.
Well, I only bring it up
You're
because
him.
you're him. Tony Todd's in it.
Tony Todd is in it. Yeah.
Candyman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
winners go home and fuck the Bronco. Why are we watching The Rock? Damn it. I kind of want to change to The Rock. No, I'll stick with Raising Arizona. Oh, cracking
Aaron.
choice. Well done, Sam.
Here comes some indie.
No, actually, quite a serious one. Ransom.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I thought Ransom was going to come with because I love Ransom as well. Good film.
1996 Mel Gibson film.
Gibson, yeah.
Directed by Ron Howard. It's also got Gary Sinise.
I was going to say,
as
it's
well.
one of them films where I knew Gary Sinise was the bad guy because Gary Sinise was in it.
Yeah, Gary Sinise pops up and it's like, we're not watching Of Mice and Men. He's a bad guy. Yeah, it's just got René Russo in it, and our boy Delroy Lindo is in it.
He's got
as well.
Delroy Lindo in
Gary
it.
Sinise was the one
I'd like
that
to
planted the bombs in Apollo 13.
I'd like to point out, Delroy Lindo won us 20 quid on a machine once.
Delroy Lindo.
Yeah. Do you remember when you came out of nowhere and we were like, who is it? And you just went, Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo.
20 quid. Thank you, Scream.
Ransom for me, when I watched that, was the first time I remember watching that film, and halfway through there's a big twist in the storyline. Mel Gibson's son gets kidnapped, and the film's called Ransom because they want obviously ransom money for it. There's a twist halfway through that film which changes the dynamics of the second part of the film, and I remember watching it, and it was the first time I was blown away by like, no. And then the acting to follow was the first time as well that I remember. I can remember it so vividly, sat watching this film and being like, holy shit. Like the scene where Mel Gibson's on the phone to Gary Sinise and he thinks his son's dead, and he's like screaming at him. And I was like, oh my God, like that is in my eyes as a young impressionable person, that was the first time I saw true acting and being like blown away. And to this day, I'll always stand by. It was one of the fundamental films that I always loved film growing up, but one of the ones where I was like, no shit, I love this. I'm completely absolved in this now.
Do you remember when you see a movie and you just remember a certain scene about it that is completely out of context and has nothing really to do with the storyline, but you can't forget it? The film in the scene in Ransom that I will never ever forget is when Donnie Wahlberg buys kids cereal.
Yeah,
that's it. I just remember that scene.
And Liv
so much.
Schreiber's in it as well. We talked about him as well, haven't we? Yeah. It's a full circle. Full circle.
I loved it. Good film. Good choice, Aaron.
Let's go with S.
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. There's something I want to bring up about Silence of the Lambs in a few minutes. I will remind. Yeah, you won't know when.
After you both say Star Wars, right?
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars. I got Star Wars. A New Hope.
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Star Wars.
Well, you're both wrong. It's Empire Strikes Back.
Wait, you see, now this is the thing. Aaron
Which originally I had for E before I explained it.
Aaron brought up this perfect point the other day of, I'm not saying A New Hope is the better film, but as you said, Aaron, it's the original. It introduces you to the characters, to the lightsabers, to the universe. So that's why it'll always be A New Hope for me.
It's the same thing. That's why it trumps it for me. The introduction to Luke Skywalker and what we've got off the back of that is just, I can't even fathom how amazing Star Wars is.
So Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, Aaron.
Silence of the Lambs. No, I'm going to come back to it when we get to you, if you don't mind. Right then, so let's go with T.
Mentioned it last week. One of my favourite films of all time, The Thing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes.
Kurt Russell.
Also,
it's in the vault.
Also, double T.
The Thing, yeah. It's in the vault as well.
It's in the vault. So, yeah, classic. Love that film.
The Thing, Kurt Russell, bearded, longer hair. Love it.
Yeah.
And he's playing Santa Claus in a Netflix
yes, I
TV
have
show
seen
as well,
that.
with a beard and long hair. Can't wait for
he's
it.
the Thing in it.
What's your T, Sam?
The Dark Knight,
which
is number 11 in the vault.
I've also put The Dark Knight.
You can't go wrong with it. You see, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking D, thinking that you'd both go Die Hard. And then I thought one of you might go Die Hard, one of you might go Dark Knight. So I would go with Dark City.
Yeah.
So we got a range.
Yeah, Dark Knight, phenomenal. Watched it when I was in New York. I watched it like the week before it came out in the UK. And I was like, this is the one thing I want to go home and tell people about. Not New York. I want to get home to tell people how good this film was.
I was just say,
yeah, literally like, oh my God.
I was just like, opening day, saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
So
in America, the cinema is very different to the UK. They shout a lot. They go berserker at certain scenes. And I remember Dark Knight being one of those where I was sat watching it. It was like a midnight screening, and oh God, just everyone was shouting, and it was all like boisterous as everyone's going on. Don't go in there! Yeah, there's this woman.
Don't go in there, Batman!
There's one behind us, and you know You know, Rachel in it is obviously going out with Harvey Dent, but she's also got feelings.
She's like,
Yeah, this woman behind me. Yeah, this woman behind me just goes, hussy. And it was really good. It was kind of like a laugh along.
Yeah, not a sing along, a laugh along.
So I had to go watch that when I come back. But yeah, I did also put for honourable mention, 1960s The Time Machine.
Okay.
I watched that all the time growing up. I loved it. Yeah, when I was a young lad in the 60s. No, but I had on like a VHS I got on DVD, and it's just a go-to film. I just really love the original Time Machines. I love all like the Eloys and all that kind of conversation.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. All right, let's go with you.
One of my favourite films of all time, Usual Suspects.
Yeah, see, I was going to go with that, but I knew you would.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Again,
Kaiser Soze. No further explanation needed. Yeah.
Again, I was going to go for Usual Suspect, but I wanted it to be an all-rounder, and I've seen this film so many times. Up.
I put Up as well.
Do you really?
This is amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I love that film because I hadn't seen it until beginning of this year, and I've seen it about 10 times since then. I absolutely love it.
Can't go wrong with Up. Classic
it's great,
choice.
isn't it?
Potential
Amazing.
for your number 3 top spot for favourite dog. Is the dog from Up?
Yeah.
Good shout.
You know?
There's a film coming up from C. As animated films go, Up
Coco.
I was going to say Up. I was going to say, have you seen Coco now?
I watched it.
Oh, Coco
Yesterday.
to me, mate. Heart pulling strings. Absolutely love Coco.
And the dog in Coco.
Exactly.
Yeah, I watched it.
Have you seen
yesterday.
Coco?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Let's talk about Coco.
We'll save that for next week. We'll talk about Coco. Up. God, I cried in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's devastating.
And Usual Suspects is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, cried in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Have you seen...
When I realised I can never like this film again.
yeah, this controversial film.
Have you seen the Always Sunny in Philadelphia skit from Up?
No.
You'll see it's one where someone's taken over a gas station and it shows Charlie doing the Up thing. Watch it. It's so funny.
Mine was 1992's classic Unforgiven.
You see, Unforgiven was on the list, but I thought, yes, because do you remember when I came around, I said, use the one that I came into this room. Sorry, I was getting very agitated. I came into this very room and I said to Sam, I've just thought of a film on the way round here that might trump what my U is. I forgot what my U is. I need to check. I opened my book and was like, Unforgiven doesn't beat Usual Suspects by a hairbreadth. Yeah. But cracking choice. But, well, I'm glad it's in there.
Yeah. The reason why I was going to bring it up with the film that you mentioned,
Silence of the
Lambs, is that I think them two and one other film from 1930s is I think he's only one of a very small amount of films that won the big 5 Oscars.
Oh.
So Best Director, Best Picture, Actor.
Like a clean sweep of Abbott's son.
Yeah, so Silence of the Lambs was one, but Unforgiven was the other.
Was it 12 Angry Men was the other one?
No,
right.
I'd never heard of it. One thing I was going to say about Unforgiven, so I did find out that was really interesting. So obviously we know Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, but Richard Harris is in it, plays English Bob.
He plays English Bob. He's in it at the beginning. He's kind of like a famous one, and he's got like an author following him around chronicling his stories. Yes. And then he turns out that he's not actually. It's about the end of the outlaw, isn't it? Really
so
good film.
He goes in wanting to take up the vigilante stance on the person who's obviously
some hookers got
disfigured
cut
the hooker.
Up, so there's a reward that goes out for whoever kills the cattle boys.
Whereas Gene Hackman's the town sheriff who doesn't want any kind of vigilantes in his town. But then also Clint Eastwood is a vigilante with Morgan Freeman and such, who also wants to claim the reward for this person. Now, Richard Harris, I was actually looking at, we know later in his career, played in the first 2 Harry Potter films, he played Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, yes.
And but obviously passed away, so then it was reprised by Michael Gambon.
It was?
But do you know that it was who was originally offered to before Michael Gambon?
Sean Connery?
No.
Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen. Yeah, after his Gandalf performance.
Well, do you know who was offered originally the Gandalf performance in Lord of the Rings? Sean Connery.
This is amazing.
I know. How cool is this?
Now, Sir Ian McKellen turned it down because
he didn't want to be associated with wizards all the time.
Richard Harris, no, not that. Richard Harris had actually gone on to quote him and saying that he's a technically brilliant but passionless actor. And so therefore Ian McKellen wanted to take up the role. And to this day, he says that when he sees posters of, like the Harry Potter films, he thinks that could have been me. I could have, continued my wizardry skills in the other role. But it was actually because Richard Harris didn't really rate him as an actor. And I thought that was quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I want this podcast, I want people to learn a little bit.
Learn.
I want people to learn a little bit. So yeah, for me, Unforgiven. Let's go for V. I know 2 of us got the same thing, but I don't know what you've got, James.
stars Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe. Denzel Washington, his family's killed and he's framed for a murder. And then for some bizarre reason, this company have put all the minds of a serial killer and created Russell Crowe's character. It's called Virtuosity, and it's about this character that escapes the virtual world and hunts down Denzel Washington. Yep, that's the true story.
Yeah, I haven't put that.
What?
I mean, I've watched that.
It was their first, before American Gangster, it was their first team up, and I have really good fond memories of this film. I haven't seen it in a while, but I have really good memories of it.
Oh.
And also, he was a bugger because I don't like the film that you two have put down.
Calling me interested because I watched that. What have we put down, James?
V for Vendetta. I know he's definitely put V for Vendetta. So.
You know, he's one of my favorite. Is probably my favorite character.
2006 classic, and it did really well at the box office as well. V for Vendetta.
It's nice to see Stephen Fry in a big screen.
I like Stephen Fry in this film.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Natalie Portman in it, and obviously Hugo Weaving. I think is great.
You see, again, part of the reason I don't like that film is there's a British actor called James. I can't remember his name. I want to say Fadden. It might not be him. He originally did the voice, and they dubbed him over and never told him. And I just think that was a douche move.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. No, but I like how
James McFoy. He's the I can't remember what it is. He's the guy who then went on to play the bad guy in the Cult thing with Kevin Bacon. No, it was that actor. whose name?
Yeah, The Following.
The Following, yes, thank you. He's the bad guy in The Following.
Right. Oh, I liked him.
James Percy.
James, is that his name? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I know he does the body.
Yeah.
And he originally did the voice. And they dubbed him over and never told him. They paid him. They didn't screw him out of pay or anything. I just thought it was a dick move.
I did not know that. I did not know that. But I like the fact that how the mask now has become actually a symbol of revolutionary.
Well, yeah, it's anonymous using it, don't they? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're whipping through these now. W.
While he was sleeping.
I knew you could do it.
I love While he was sleeping.
Didn't even need to put that in.
While he was sleeping. Sandra Bullock, Bill Pullman. Charming, delightful. Love it film.
James Purfoy. Sorry, I knew it would be on with a P. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to whip through it, Whiplash.
Yeah, that's why I did the lead in there. Whiplash.
I kind of figured. Also, it's because I can now see his list. It's open in front of me, so I knew.
Damien Chazelle's classic. Got to go out and watch Whiplash from 2014. But I would give While You Were Sleeping honourable mention completely. Right then, so we're going on to the harder ones now. X.
We must have the same.
Triple X?
Triple X2, still triple.
Couldn't even do it as a joke. Couldn't even write it down as a joke. X-Men, Days of Future Past, but I've actually written Days of the Future.
Did you get that, Aaron?
No, but
I did.
I thought we were getting a clean sweep.
I remember watching this when we lived together at Rookery Lane. And I remember you had seen it and you was like, you got to watch this film. And I remember being blown away by it and just being like, love that.
Still to this day, love it. A lot better than Apocalypse. Apocalypse had its issues. This was amazing.
Rubbish.
Yeah, to me, it was what I wanted. It wanted the old cast of X-Men with the new cast of X-Men perfectly blended together.
Oh, you said Days of Futures Past?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of First Class.
Oh, no, but then again, I would have accepted
That's
First
the
Class
one
as
we
well.
watched together. Days of Future Past is the one.
When you went to the cinema because you went after me because I went to the midnight screening with my sister, which is the reason why I picked it.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, so if I had picked one, I would have done First Class, the Kevin Bacon one.
Don't get me wrong, both cracking, love them both.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I mean, it was going to be an X-Men film, wasn't it? And I nearly went for X-Men 1, but I went for the X-Files movie.
It was on my list. But my downside...
Okay.
The reason it's on my list originally was because my granddad took it to me, snuck me into the cinema to see it, and that's not even my fondest memory. My fondest memory was when we got back, he made a cup of tea, he sat me down and we were talking, and I just, Granddad, can I ask you a question? And he went, yeah. I went, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
And so my fond memory was him trying to explain something that now as a 30-year-old man, I still cannot explain.
trying to explain to you how they're trying to put anthrax in bees, which is, the X-Men.
Which makes you pregnant, but with alien.
X-Files for me, growing up, was something that me, my dad and my brother watched every week. And so when they made a film about it, it was hot. It was like, we got to go watch this film. You're right. God knows what it was about, and it wasn't that great. I remember
it was an X-Men.
Do you know what we should do? One episode, we should get really, really drunk, watch the X-Files, and try and explain the conspiracy to Sam.
It was the second.
I'll tell you what, I'll just not sober up between now and then if you want.
The second one, I want to, the X-Files I Want to Believe one with Billy Connolly. You can follow, and you kind of wish you couldn't. So it's really weird.
And do you know why I've never seen it?
I think I've seen that film.
I've never seen it because he told me, because I'm a huge fan like you, Aaron, of X-Files. And I said, I want to go see the new X-Files film. And you went, you like X-Files? I like X-Files. I went, yeah. And you went, don't watch it.
No, don't watch it.
So I didn't watch it.
Let's go with Y then.
Classic, Young Frankenstein.
Yep, Young Frankenstein.
Gene Wilder.
Mel
Brooks.
Yes, man.
which was on my list. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
beautiful.
I wanted a Zoe
Gorgeous
Deschanel film on here. I nearly put for F 500 Days of Summer.
My numeric,
Cheats.
I've got one in case we had a point system. I didn't know what was going to happen. If I had
Oh,
a
what you mean
numeric one,
numbers and that?
I was going to say I had 12 Angry Men as my backup. So
Yeah. I'm glad to see Zoe Deschanel on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, she's there. I brought it, mate.
Thank you. Young Frankenstein, brilliant. So let's end this then, Zed.
right, so I think I've got the big three that I think all three of us will have. You two, I think Zoolander and Zodiac, but I went with Zulu, the Michael Caine British Imperial one.
Not the Orlando Bloom remake with Forrest Whitaker.
No.
We thought he was going to go for Zootropolis.
Yeah, I said you were going to do
I
Zootropolis.
forgot completely about Zootropolis.
Yeah, that film's
Oh,
awesome.
can I change it? Zootropolis.
Yeah, you can.
Zootropolis.
Yeah, I
We
before you
knew
said
it.
it, I went,
Zootropolis, brilliant film. Never in doubt, always Zootropolis.
yeah. See,
He's actually changing his book. Oh my god, he's. Oh,
see, I know you better than you know yourself, James.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot about that film.
Zootropolis, it is then.
Oh, I absolutely love Zootropolis.
Stunning film.
Completely forgot about that. Love that film.
Yeah, and you're right, mine's Zodiac. I love that film.
I wanted Zodiac, but it frustrates me how they don't get the killer at the end. It really does. Because I think, what's the point of watching it?
You mean like real life?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what's the point? Make a film when they've got him. Then I'll watch it.
Here's what we'll do. We'll watch every film based on the Zodiac killing, and then we'll apprehend the Zodiac
Yes.
killer. We'll go. Sorry, You're in My Seat meets the two podcasters from the Halloween 2018.
He's probably dead now anyway.
You've got
Probably.
Or she.
Or she.
Or maybe they could be in this very room. No, they're not.
No.
No.
It's just me, James. and
I
Sam.
wasn't allowed there.
But I went with Zoolander just for the pure comedy aspect of it.
It was always Zoolander. And
Yeah.
it was last minute. I was literally walking past my DVD collection going, Zodiac.
Yeah.
I love that film.
Zodiac was the first one that came to mind, but I thought actually I'm going to give it Zoolander because I love Mugatu as
It's an awesome film.
brilliant Will Ferrell and your boy David Duchovny's back in
Yeah,
it as well.
James Coveney as a
There
hand
he is.
model.
Yeah.
Cracking choice.
All right, cool. That is our
There we go, you
A
see.
to Z.
Wow, we got there.
Next week we'll do numbers 1 to 50.
I now know why that Spice Girls song's been stuck in my head today. A to Z, you want to get with me? That's why I've been thinking of A to Z. Oh,
Because James has been singing Spice Girls before we started.
We've all been singing Spice Girls before I started.
That's true. That's how we get into the mood of the of each episode.
Spice Girls.
Now, here's the problem. How long have we been going for now, Aaron?
What? Spice Girls? Oh, the show? 1 hour, 30 and 40 seconds.
You see, we're already quite into this. We've got so many for the vault, haven't we?
I think the rules state
One
you had to have
suggestion
watched
each.
it in the 7 days.
Yeah.
I think.
In the last 7 days.
You
I
had to be
think-
recently.
Yeah, recent watch. One, maybe you could put one each then, or to be honest.
We'll put one each. If we can remember
I'd
it.
say one each because.
Okay,
yeah.
go for one each then.
I'm going to go with.
Bear in mind, we all have had to have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm going to go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't grab a pen.
You did, I stole it.
you did, you stole it. I write as we go, or so I will forget.
Actually, do you know what? Because I kind of said Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Because I'm kind of hoping one of you would say we're in Bruges. I did watch that recently. I absolutely adore In Bruges.
If In Bruges goes in, it will come out because it will go in and fill
It's
up
one
a
of my
space.
favourite comedies.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's a stunning film, but I think when it comes to the 100, it will take a place that.
Well, then I'll see you in phase 2.
Yeah, so when we get to the 100 films, we enter phase 2 where we'll start looking at each week bringing a film to challenge one of our 100. I'm going to put into that then off this list Star Wars A New Hope,
I thought we were waiting for an actual special Star Wars special.
but then I can put in all the others.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you have to fight 2 of us to get them out, James.
I just have to say no.
I've never seen it.
Episode 1's not going in.
No, I'm on about the original trilogy.
Fair enough.
Well, if we're going to go for that, then One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, that's a good week. Good week of film.
I thought it was already in there. No,
Yeah.
good choice.
Yes, actually, thinking about it, is it?
No, it must
it's
not be. Okay.
Wicked.
Cool. So we're at the 1 hour 32 mark, so we just need to end each show.
Sorry. No, can we put an honourable mention? One more? Because we have seen it recently. Mandy, which we talked about last week.
Yeah,
Put Mandy in.
put Mandy in.
Yeah,
We haven't got any horror really in there, have we?
Oh, yeah, because we wanted to put it in last week, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I couldn't because I hadn't seen it, but I've seen it now, Mandy.
Yeah. No, good choice. Cool.
Are you sticking Hunter Killer in the whole so we can
No,
talk
you've
about
not seen it yet.
But no, I would like to point out there is a film that, as you were speaking, I realised we can put in the hole and the universe can thank us.
Batman and Robin.
No. Something even better, mate. Do you remember when George Lucas took out your childhood and raked it in the garden with Indiana Jones 4? If we put it in a hole, it won't exist, and it won't exist for anyone in the universe. We can do them a favour.
We do need to put Indiana Jones 4 in there.
If you fucking say you haven't seen it, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you for not seeing it. Yeah, Indiana Jones 4 has got to go in the hole.
Welcome, universe. There are only 3 Indiana Jones films.
Indiana Jones 4...
And the Kingdom of the Crystal Disappointment.
The Crystal Kingdom.
And the Crystal Letdown.
4.
You are welcome.
There we go. Never to be spoke about again.
Right then. Now I feel cleansed. Let's end the show like we do each and every week. I've collected every ticket from every film I've been to see since about 2002. Sam will delve into the box of tickets, pull one out, and James and I will try and remember anything interesting about the film. And who knows, it could be a last-minute addition to the vault or to the whole. Sam, what have you picked this week?
09/06/12 at 2 p.m, Aaron. Screen 7, row H, seat 14. You used your points on your card.
Ooh,
not your limitless card. The
point
Odeon
system
card thing that you used to get.
What year was it?
Priorities. It was 2012.
Was it an Iron Man film?
No, it wasn't.
I know, you saw this film with me. You and I went during the day.
We did.
It wasn't a nighttime screen. I believe we came out when it was still light out.
You could have seen it in 3D, but you watched it in 2D.
Always 2D.
I would like to point out that when you find out what film it is, you'll wonder why it was in 3D.
Yeah. Prometheus.
Oh, okay.
Why was that film in 3D? At what point do you remember thinking that?
This needed to be in 3D.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've got a thing for you. So you said we'll try to remember something that interesting happened. I don't remember anything interesting happened, but that's because nothing interesting happened in it.
I've never seen it.
Michael Fassbender's performance.
Michael Fassbender was very good in it, but no, other than that.
Who did he play? David, was it?
He did. Idris Elba, waist. Charlize Theron, waist.
Yeah. Charlize Theron, we learn in this film, cannot run left or right.
She cannot. I do remember learning that.
At the end, she's getting chased by a giant donut ship that's
really?
rolling.
Wicked.
And if you know you're being chased by something rolling, run left or right. Don't run forwards. It's 101 of running.
Not only does she run straight forward, but she runs straight forward slower.
Yeah,
really. She starts off. So
you've told me a lot about Fassbender's performance in that.
Yeah,
which does sound interesting.
So
in fact, it made me want to see the film, and then you went, "Don't do it, Sam."
I think Prometheus is worth a watch. So obviously this is it's in the world and universe of the Alien franchise, but this is a prequel.
Explains the ship.
Yeah, explains that. It explains,
and it's kind of like the evolution of the hugger. We came out saying
the face hugger.
The face hugger, but.
It's a lot of unnecessary storyline when actually we were fine with just the alien. And for me, the alien, it was like facehugger, comes out your stomach, turns into a big black alien, done. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did mind that the franchise changed a little bit in the third one because you're in the third film, and it was all right. But then they started just being a bit silly, and I don't know why Ridley Scott thinks that we need to have a storyline about what's going on. It's got some decent scenes in it, but
do you remember watching the first Alien film thinking, I wonder where that ship came from? Actually, maybe you did, to be fair.
But I'm not sure.
Do you remember thinking, I wonder where the person sat in the chair came from in the ship?
But I'm not, that isn't the ship from Alien 1.
I thought it was.
No, because they find a survivor, don't they? Which turns out to be
that's the guy sat in the. Oh, do you know what, mate? I
don't think it is that ship.
I think, don't make me rewatch it.
I did watch it.
I'll tell you word for it.
I tried figuring out the timeline of where it fits in because there's one more Prometheus film to go before
Alien Covenant.
Covenant was the second one.
That was the second one.
Now, but there's one more that Ridley Scott wants to do to finish these 3, which was set up
because he hasn't killed the franchise enough yet.
Which was set up with Sigourney Weaver comes into it. Now, if you think Prometheus is bad, do not watch Covenant because that is rubbish.
Really?
That is just rubbish. I wanted to like it. Not even Fassbender can save that one.
Not even Fassbender ×2 can save that.
Yeah, there's 2 of them in that one. But Prometheus is all right for a watch. I watched it twice. Actually. I watched it there and then I watched it on a ferry going over to Amsterdam, I think it was.
No, I don't have fond memories of it. I don't remember it being bad. I just remember being bored.
So neither then.
Neither.
No hole, no vault.
No, neither. All right, that brings apart the end of the show at 1 hour 37. James, any final thoughts or messages from yourself?
No, but if you want to get in touch on the social media, come up with your own A to Zs. We'll be happy to read at them, mock them, and embrace our own.
Yes. And Sam, anything you want to contribute?
What he said, but twice.
Oh, well, he's doubled you then.
No, he's right. But well played.
Yes.
If you times by infinity, mate, we're done.
Don't turn around, switch the ground.